This program involves the general ciliation of a number of species of paramecium. In general, the cilia of paramecium are about 10 to 12 microns in length and 0.3 of a micron in diameter. There are a number of interesting photomicrographs of paramecium to be found on the internet and in the literature. With respect to cilia, the photomicrographs tend to have a flat, two-dimensional quality, which creates the impression that the cilia are comprised of a closely spaced group running around the perimeter of the organism. The cilia vary in appearance with respect to their length, coarseness, or thickness, dependent in part upon the type of illumination utilized. For example, reflected interference, differential interference, Nomarski interference, or ordinary incandescent light with various filters, such as a daylight filter. In addition, the general features of the organism are variably visible, including the oral groove, the nucleus, contractile vacuoles, trichosis, and a thickened subsurface, which is presumably the pellicle. There are many composite educational drawings and diagrams of paramecium also to be found in the literature and on the internet. Those illustrated on this page are quite well done and educational. Note that one of them is labeled in both English and Chinese. Nonetheless, the overall appearance of relative flatness and a single line of cilia around the perimeter of these organisms is fostered by the drawings. The organism is sometimes fancifully decked out in psychedelic colors and exaggerated curves and proportions. But in the best line drawings, general features almost always included are a linear shape with rounded anterior end, a perimeter of cilia, an oral groove, a large macronucleus, and a micronucleus as well, contractile vacuoles with a collecting system equivalent to a primitive urinary tract, gullet, food vacuoles, and anal spot equivalent to a primitive gastrointestinal tract, and a complex sheet-like body covering, the pellicle, immediately beneath which there is a palisade of trichosis. In diagrams and drawings, the cilia of paramecium are quite variable in number, length, and thickness. The length may vary quite remarkably, even in the same picture, perhaps with the intention of making an educational point, or possibly sometimes because in stained preparations, cilia may be confused with extruded trichocysts. Ultimately, most of the line diagrams of paramecium are educationally quite informational. Nonetheless, they still convey the impression that the paramecium has a single row of closely packed cilia distributed only around its perimeter. In general, the cilia of paramecium are about 10 to 12 microns in length and 0.3 of a micron in diameter. This video provides a hint that there are additional cilia, in this case, an organized, coordinated group in the oral groove and the food ingestion pathway. This full-screen version at 400 times magnification shows the remarkably generalized nature of the paramecium's cilia, which literally cover the outer surface of the organism. Note that variation in ciliary movement allows the organism to move forwards and backwards and sideways. Using scanning electron microscopy, it is immediately clear that several thousand cilia densely cover virtually the entire surface of the organism. In Tam's photomicrograph of 1972, it is also quite clear that the cilia are arranged in thickly populated rows or kinetes, running in a generally horizontal, somewhat tangential fashion. Parenthetically, this arrangement may in part account for the leftward helical course of forward movement of paramecium during swimming. The number, density, and arrangement of the cilia of paramecium have been verified and documented by SEM on many occasions. These observations are illustrated videographically using edge detection technology. This video demonstrates quite graphically the feeding currents and other currents generated in the surrounding medium by ciliary action.